see. I hit the wrong button. I see myself.
Okay. If you can't see me, unfortunately, I'm not sure how to work out that iron yet, Laura, but
Damn.
the people who are watching us can see both of us.
Oh, they can? Well, that's good. I don't care about you. I only care about the fans.
There you go. So, everybody, sorry for the technical difficulties and the delay. Laura, let me know if you have a specific time frame in which you need to be
No, I'm
off.
good. And now, for some reason, the talking aspect of us is not there. Oh, direct messages. I don't know. For some reason, we were texting back and forth through this
Yeah,
app. Doesn't seem to. Maybe I need to uh be on. Do something. Do you want me to do something before people ask questions?
no, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
I
read
won't
all the
touch any more
messages.
buttons because who know I don't know what I'm doing.
That's okay. I
Mhm.
can see all the messages that are coming in from people.
Oh, great.
So yeah, I'll just field them for you if anybody does ask you a specific question. So,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second part of the episode 21 with special guest Laura Summer.
Hi, everybody.
Yay!
I have one quick question. Should I turn the overhead light off?
That is entirely up to you.
It's up to you. Oh, I could. Okay. It might be. It might look better. I
You're
always want
good.
to look good, even though it's voiceover. Everybody wants to look good, right?
You're marvelous, darling. So, we do have the first question from MMPR Forever, which is Laura, what is your favorite part about voicing Patamon?
Oh, good question. I didn't do it for years. We didn't do Potamon, and then Digimon Try came back,
Mhm.
and I remembered how much I enjoyed Potamon. He's just so happy
Yeah,
and joyous, and there's never. I'm always looking for the bright side of Potamon.
right,
And to do the lines that way because we're not given for the people listening and watching, we're not given much direction. We're given the script when we don't even read the whole script. We're just sort of given kind of an overview of what's happening. So Patamon usually is very protective, but he's happy. And I always look for the joke. And so there's a lot of opportunity for that. And also he's very sweet.
yeah,
And in Try, I got to have a little death scene, but then I did come back, thank goodness, right?
right.
And so that's what I find the most fun. And I don't do a lot of little tiny voices, which I could, but somehow I have done not as much as like Potamon, and so it's really fun.
And can I just say, when you changed into Angemon, that was absolutely amazing how you sounded so much like a male.
That's not me.
I know, I'm
Everybody knows
joking.
that, right?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I don't even. Yeah. I'm like, who are these people I'm watching? I don't even know.
But you did voice what I can't
Pokemon.
remember. Yeah.
Pokemon, I think so.
Hmm.
And yeah, sometimes fans will send me, "Did you do this?" And sometimes I just say I really don't know because I don't remember, and I can't tell if it's my just brilliant voice acting or it's someone else. So,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
you know, but yeah, I did Tokomon, and I did a few other characters only because I have credit for them, so I think I know that I did do them. But I don't even Steve, do you remember auditioning for Digimon?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have no memory of that. I don't
No
know. I
memory.
had done. something called Super Pig
Oh
for
my
the.
God, you were in Super Pig too?
Yes, I am Heather Hogwash.
What?
Oh my God, Heather Hogwash, the prettiest, smartest, richest girl in the entire school.
That is
And
amazing.
oh my God, but for the people that don't know, I don't think it ever aired.
It never aired. I actually, last year, as a matter of fact, when I was trying to book some more conventions, there was a convention in the Netherlands, believe it or not.
Oh,
When I contacted the guest chair for that, who really
right.
wanted me to come, she actually said, "Oh my God, you were amazing in Super Pig."
Oh,
And
who did you play?
I played Super Pig.
You're
No,
kidding.
I was the Super
You
Pig.
know,
Yes.
for everybody who doesn't know, uh, Derek, Steve, and Prince, and I don't know how you want the fans to call you.
Derek is fine. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so we just met.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell them how we just met? Because
Well,
I'm and I called him.
yeah. I think how it happened was, as you guys all know, I'm very passionate about Digimon, and trying to be an active person in terms of pushing the anniversaries that are coming up. Last year was the season one. This year season two. Next year is going to be Digimon Tamers, and then Digimon Frontier after that. But anyway, so when we were in Digimon 2, and I had already gotten a core group of people already that were interested, being Neil Kaplan, Paul St. Peter, Doug Erholtz, and Brian Donovan. They all came on board, and I realized I don't I think
You
when I
realize they were all boys.
yes. And we had no females. And I'm going, this is not right. We need to get some more people on board. So I think when I was going back and after we had watched a few episodes, and I know I initially sent a Facebook Messenger to all of the people that were involved in it, but I know that, just how Facebook Messenger is, sometimes people just don't
I
get
never
notified.
got.
Right. So I reached back out to Laura and I reached back out to Edie Merman, who played Gatamon. And so Laura was the first one to respond. And we talked to each other, messaged each other, got to become familiar with each other. We'd never talked to each other before I messaged
Never
her.
met,
Never met, ever, ever.
except maybe passing in the hallway
Yeah,
and
right.
a long time ago.
Yeah. And so I think it was just like what, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we
Yeah,
actually physically first met for the first time before everybody got the stay-at-home order.
feels like a long time.
And yeah, so that's it.
That's it.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Super Pig was this Saban anime about a girl who has these special powers that she gets from an alien pig. And so Super Pig
A
helps
pain
her.
pig. It's
Yes.
pain. Yes.
And so Super Pig helps her, become, a stronger girl and makes the world right. That's what I remember about it anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I just read you just read your part,
Right.
really.
Exactly.
So my part was like I said, the prettiest, smartest girl, and her father was rich, 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 and she was very bossy. So I didn't really care about the other parts.
Right.
Kidding,
Exactly.
just kidding. But it was a really fun character to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I brought that up because I did that and Hello Kitty, and then I don't remember auditioning for Potamon, or they just told me I was playing. I just have no memory of it, but don't take it personally.
Yeah. I know.
It's not. I could have had three callbacks. I just don't remember.
Yeah. So, we did get a question from another watcher asking if there's any current projects that you're working on that you're able to talk about, or stuff that you've done recently, either anime or original animation wise.
Well, I was doing the Garfield show for 5 years, which is original animation, but that's been on hiatus now for a few years because
Right.
not really sure why. Have a lot of things I've been told, but I don't know why.
Hmm.
And then there is speculation about the new Digimon movie
Right.
that uh, you know I couldn't talk about if I knew, but I really don't know anything.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we'll both be in it.
Right.
And then there's more speculation about a reboot of the Digimon Adventure series, but we don't know anything, and now no one's leaving their house, so
Yeah. Right.
yeah, it's a real drag.
I did. Oh, you'll like this comment. There
Okay.
was somebody that. Let me go back up and see if I can find it here. There was somebody who is a very big fan of Digimon,
Yes.
and they mentioned that before they started watching, I think it was before they started watching the Try movies. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can find it. Ba, ba, ba. Panemon. Okay. Hang on. Oh, here we go. After watching Try, this is from Sanji Cat. I got a tattoo of Gatomon and Potamon.
Oh, can we see that? I mean, I don't think
that
can you put it
they
up
might
on
have to like take a picture and like tag us in it or tag you in it or
Yeah, on
something.
Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter. What is so for people who want to follow you who may not be following you currently? What is your account on Twitter?
Oh, it is at Love That Laura.
At love that Laura. There we
Yeah,
go.
which and
Okay.
I'm on Twitter a lot these days because I don't know. I signed up for an account like years ago
Yeah.
and I never really did anything with it. And then I just decided, well, this looks like fun.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many fans, and there's a lot of fans of Ghostbusters, which was the first original animation series I ever did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, when I first came out here, so there's all these Ghostbuster groups, and I started playing around on it just like a few months ago, and all of a sudden I was contacted by um, a Ghostbusters group. It's very big in the UK, even though it's so old. But they, they, the Cosmo play and dressing up as Ghostbusters, and in time with the new Ghostbusters movie that was supposed to be released in July, which I guess has been pushed back.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I got asked to go to Scotland to do like a fan Ghostbusters day. So I started having a lot of fun with Twitter. The point is, I'm on Twitter a lot.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to follow me at Love That Laura on Twitter or ask a question or I'm getting artwork from fans, it's really cool.
Cool. Um, you may not know how to answer this next question, depending
Uh-oh,
on how much or little you know about Digimon.
not
But
much.
yeah, there was another question that came in from MMPR Forever, which was if there was any other Digimon, which one would you both be? Oh, so there's a question for each of us. If there was any other Digimon we could be, what would we be if we know the answer
Oh,
to that?
another character.
Yeah.
Well, my really good friend plays Palmon, Anna Garginio,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
always like the turn up on her head. So
Hmm.
maybe I would play that.
Okay.
And she lives in New York.
Very
So
cool.
yeah. So what about you?
I think, other than what I've already done as far as Digimons go, gosh, I, I I think I never was given a shot at auditioning for in Digimon Fusion, which was the most recent Digimon before Try.
Oh, see,
Uh,
I didn't do any of those shows.
right.
I wasn't
Yeah.
doing any anime at all after about 2003 or something
Right.
until I try.
So yeah, this came later. I think it was back in 2010, maybe
Oh wow.
2011 or 12,
Right.
something like that. But anyway, so there were new episodes of Digimon that came out called Digimon Fusion, which was part one and part two, basically season one, season two of Digimon Fusion. First time that they actually ever did that, a part one and a part two. But
Oh,
for that, there was one specific Digimon who is the main Digimon for the lead character. I can't remember his name. But for that one, I would have loved to have at least auditioned for that character, but
had a
never
shot.
did. But that's okay.
Yeah. You never
Um,
know what the moods of the powers that be. It's not.
exactly.
It's not personal. There's so many people, right?
Yes. And I mean, I'm sure you could probably speak to this as well. Whether it be anime or original animation, we are lucky considering the amount of voice actors that are out there trying to get jobs.
Oh yeah, so many, so many, you guys.
Yeah.
And I always want to encourage people who feel like, oh, I want to do voiceovers. People tell me I have a great voice, or things like that. And sometimes I'll get a call like from my sister was a teacher, so a student of hers or
Yeah.
someone who wants to get. Everybody tells me I have a great voice. Yeah, and so I'll talk to them and give them some advice. And sure, having a distinct voice is definitely a plus, but there's so much more that goes into making you're a living as a voice actor,
Yeah.
or getting in this, either the dubbing or the anime or the original animation, or I do a lot of ADR. And there's just it's more than just having a cute voice or an announcer voice, right? Wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Whenever I tell anybody who is interested in getting into the voiceover business, the first thing I ask them is, well, what kind of acting training have you had?
Right.
Because everybody thinks, if I've got a great voice, I could just go in and start doing voiceovers. And I'm going, well, yeah, you might be lucky. And if somebody finds your voice interesting, they might be able to cast you in something, but it's going to be very short lived if it's something that you want to do as a career. Because when you're competing against the thousands and thousands of actors that are out there who do voices, and have had tons and tons of training acting wise. I mean,
Exactly.
voice acting is a part, it's just another, under the umbrella of acting, it's just another acting thing that you do. Without having that acting experience or that acting background, people are gonna know, like, if you don't sound like you're cold when, like if there's a character that appears in like a freezing winter and you're like trying to walk through the snow type of thing, if you can't sound realistic, then it's
Like,
like,
I'm so cold.
yeah, exactly. If you can't,
Okay, don't judge me.
yeah, if you can't do simple stuff like that, then when it comes to the meat and potatoes of just a character and the character development, then it's going to go to somebody who probably deserves it more because of how much they've trained and how much they've studied.
Right, or even if it's I had a guy call me and he had a beautiful voice, and his wife was some big mucky muck over at Universal, and I'm sure she had a lot of contacts. And but I said, oh, why don't you just read something for me? Let's just find something. We were talking on the phone, and he was like, but isn't my voice great? And I
Mm,
said, yeah, it's great. But when he read, he was so stiff,
yeah.
and it was a very announcer type, stuff that he would get.
Hmm.
But you still have to make it come alive
Oh, absolutely.
and be interesting.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, guys. Those of you that are interested, um, it's definitely one thing to have a good voice, sure. You definitely have to have your acting chops and your training. But
Mhm.
I know tons of actors who are fantastic when it comes to doing stuff where you actually see them, which is called on camera acting. Whether it be television or film. But when it comes to like voiceovers and they try and make that switch because it's like, oh, well, this is the new thing. Like, I want to do voiceovers. It's like they can't do it. They just can't
Why do you
because
think that is? What do you think that is, Derek?
I think. It takes, I mean, it's a very specialized type of acting because you're not seen.
Hmm.
You have a very limited amount of space to be able to act in. You can't move around so much that you're going to be heard if you do move.
Right, because so
And
Mike will pick your, if you start moving your feet, you guys,
yeah,
Mike will pick all that up. Or if you're
absolutely.
wearing jewelry or you hit the stand, or,
Yep.
well,
Yep.
there's no stand anymore. Well, some places they still have a stand.
Yeah.
We work off iPads. But
But yeah, it's like they just can't make that transition so that it's, just laser focused right in front of a microphone instead
yeah.
of having all this space to be able to act in.
Yeah, and
Um,
some people also, I think, like I coach this teenager, and she's working on camera, movies, commercials, and she has a really cute young voice,
mhm.
but it's not. It's like my voice is very distinct. I would say it's just a nice, pleasant young voice,
Yeah,
and she doesn't get that you need to add more, like you're coming from somewhere, more vocalizations. It's not on the page, but you might go, if you're excited about something, you might have ah, before you even say a word or anything. That's okay,
right.
because it's not written down,
Yeah,
and you have to make that page come alive and also be different than all the other people auditioning.
exactly. Yeah, it's an extremely challenging area of acting. Sandra Cat just messaged and said they just followed us
Great.
on
Hi,
Twitter
Sandy Cat.
and
Hi.
posted the picture of the tattoo. So when we're
Oh,
done with
great.
the live
Okay,
stream, you
great.
can go check
See
that
it.
out.
That's on
Um,
Twitter.
yeah. So
Okay, cool.
you may not be able to answer this because I can't imagine that your experience when you were recording Digimon was very different from mine in the sense that when you go in, you're usually not with anybody else
Correct.
recording. You're by yourself in a
Correct.
booth with the director and maybe one of the producers, maybe one of the writers on the other side of the glass, and that's about it. Yeah.
Well, back then they used an engineer
Right.
and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
director. Yeah, but
Exactly.
now this particular place, they have the engineer direct you.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
sort of a direct, right?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Once in a while, there'll be somebody, more important.
Right. Yeah.
Like if the new show, I did a show, Twin Star Exorcist, and so the new star, the owner came in and directed a few of the episodes,
Yeah.
and Jamie Simone, and so that was kind of fun. But usually it's just, yeah, it's very limited.
Have you ever
Mhm.
met? There was a question, so that's why I'm kind of
Okay, sure.
bridging this because since you never really acted with them, have you ever met Wendy Lee or Laura Jo Miller or Edie Merman?
I have met all three,
All three.
but I have met them from different things. But Wendy Lee happens to be a very good friend of mine.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've known her a long time, and then wait, my seats bouncing up and down. Uh, and we reconnected just a couple of years ago. So I would say she's a good friend. She's a wonderful director.
Yes.
And Edie I'd met in the ADR world,
Yep.
but
Myself as
yeah,
well.
yeah, you saw, and I don't know her well. Uh, I think I've worked with her a couple of times,
Hmm.
and Laura, but way back when, because you would sign in and then you'd have your 2 hours and you'd leave and you would run into somebody else.
Right.
But so it's very limited.
Yeah. The high buy thing.
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
bye.
Did you ever meet Doug Erholtz?
No, I don't think so. We were
No.
just talking about that.
Yeah.
So no,
Okay.
I did not.
Um, question for you. How long have you been a voice actor for?
Well, I started doing on camera commercials, is how I actually got a break.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, and it came from, I was actually the Hanes underwear girl with Inspector 12.
Oh my
and
gosh.
as a teenager, and didn't want to stay in college. Got went to college at 16.
Oh
Blah blah
wow.
blah. Yeah, I didn't want to be there. Started doing commercials. Got that, and from the on-camera commercial, it was hot for like a minute, and from doing like Canes and I don't know. I did a lot on camera. I got the voice stuff from that because they would do sometimes have you do voiceover like hey. Actually, the Haynes girl sounds a little like Potamon.
Okay.
Now that I think about it. So that's how it sort of was a natural occurrence, and that's pretty much all I do now is voice stuff.
Right. Um, so do you hail from California?
I hail from Queens, New York.
Queens. Yes.
Yes, hence the Ghostbusters. Hello,
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. I lived in Astoria for a while.
Ah, where are you from originally?
Here from California.
Oh, oh, so you were going to New York and you lived in Queens to try to
I
work
yeah,
on.
after I graduated from college, I was in New York for about 2.5 years
Oh, wow.
and just
Okay.
moved all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nobody wants to live in Queens.
I
No,
tell
I
you.
mean, nobody wants to be from. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. It's very different now.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I do not see any other questions,
No other
but
questions? You want to tell just a little quick story here? I
sure.
had this Potamon that I put a battery in earlier. You could see the light, the
Oh
eyes light up.
my gosh. Look
Yeah,
at
so
that.
but
That's
I
awesome.
got this Potamon. Then I have one here, but I can't get I opened up the thing about the batteries
Yeah.
and different. We don't have these batteries in the house, but this one with this one where it lights up. I was in Italy years ago and I saw this Potamon and it talked and it said bueno, 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 but it wasn't me because I was dubbed in Italian.
Oh my gosh,
And
how funny.
so I thought that, so I did write a little short story that is in Yuri Lowenthal, who I'm sure a lot of the fans know, put out a voiceover book, which is
Yeah.
terrific. And there's a little story about that in there because you never know. Like you can create something, and here's my little plushies.
Yes.
Um, but then you don't know what they do with it.
Right.
So we're so lucky to be here after all these years of doing Digimon so
Totally.
long ago.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And very, very thankful that we were able to run into each other and now we can communicate with each other on a regular basis.
I know if only I could see you.
I know. Yeah. The challenges of technology we're still facing. We're still
Especially
working
for me.
through some of this stuff, but guys, it is almost 6:30. If any of you guys had some last minute questions for
Is your
Laura,
clock fast? Because
no.
it's 6:18.
Well, it is
Oh,
kind of
okay.
almost 6:30,
Oh, all
kind of.
right. Dinner time. And you have to wash your hands.
But-
Everybody wash your hands. They say like every 20 minutes. So,
right.
ooh.
But